people I know have really found through these networking groups, it does give you that confidence, because instead of you feeling like, oh, this is just me in my house doing what I do, you feel like, no, I'm a member of this community of other people who are creative and carving their own path and doing their own thing. And it does definitely give you that little bit of a boost that I think we probably all need.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely a good one. So Business Collective Scotland, if you just look them up on Instagram or Facebook, you can kind of check it out and see what they're all about. The other group that you mentioned, the West Coast Accelerator, that sounds really great as well. My friend Alice runs a business in Ayrshire, and I believe she's a part of that program too, and has said great things about it. And I think Business Gateway can be really, really helpful as well. So I did some courses when I first started my business. I did one with the Prince's Trust, which was a week-long program, and it was sort of all the very, I guess, formal aspects of running a business, like setting up a bank account and learning how to do bookkeeping and those kind of things. Yeah. And then I've done loads of different Business Gateway classes, just their different seminars and things on very specific topics. And it's so helpful if you're feeling a bit lost, or, you know, don't have a certain set of skills in a very specific area. It can really, really help. And these resources are all free as well, which is amazing with Business Gateway.
Yeah, cost implications of joining some sort of bigger networking groups are not really something that I can do at this stage in my business. So the free ones, or the ones that are within my budget, not necessarily free, are great. It's worth investing in it, definitely. I think I'm a member of maybe 4 or 5 in total. Just a couple of them that I do pay for, but you know, I can sell a product and that's paid, one item that's paid for the membership. So yeah, totally worth it.
Worth it. And I think I've been trying some different networking events as well. So there's quite a few of them, but there's Biz Mixer, Lorna set that up, and that's really lovely. It's a really nice group of people. I've gone to a couple of her events, and No Ties Networking is one that's actually more Edinburgh based, but obviously everything's on Zoom just now anyway, so location doesn't matter so much. I've been to a few of their events, and some of these events have a small charge and some are free, depending on, you know, there's loads of different ones out there. Those are just a couple, but I found those are really good for just meeting other business owners. And I think if you go into it with the intention of like, I'm going to get a load of bookings off this, you might be disappointed, because that's not really what they're about. But when you go into it going, I want to meet some other like-minded people, I want to add to my network, I mean, they're so good for that kind of thing. I've met so many people who I would actually now call friends, you know, who I chat with daily because of these groups. So it's so helpful when you're just kind of sitting working on your own and feeling a bit lonely or a bit lost.
Yeah, me too. You never know, even if whether it's going to networking events or even trading events, you never know. It's not all about necessarily on the day. You never know who's picked up your business card and is just going to hold on to that and think, hang on a minute, I know someone that does such and such a thing. I'm going to give them a shout or put them in touch with so-and-so who's looking for that. So yeah, it's all about the bigger picture.
Yeah, and I was speaking to my friend Denise, so I met her. How did I even meet Denise? I can't remember now. She was on my podcast in the first season. She's a marketing specialist. But she says that for her, if she gets a client who hires her for marketing, they're often looking for somebody to also help with SEO or photography or all these different areas of business. So she says she looks at it more in building her network of people that she can then refer her clients to. So if you think of it that way too, I mean, for me, I do the photography side of things, a little bit of content strategy, but I don't do graphic design or website building or any of those things. So for me, if I meet people who I know do that and do it really well, and I can give their names on to my clients, it just makes me look like more of a specialist in my own field as well. And I find too that usually comes back to you. Like, yeah, I do believe in karma, and I think sometimes if you can, you know, get work or get somebody else's name out there, their chances are they'll refer that back onto you and refer your name as well. So it's really nice to have that support network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that is a very handy tip and something that that you've done very well. I think it sounds like you've had really good experience out of that. But I do like to ask the question to everyone who comes on the show, if there's one thing that you've learned the hard way or one thing that you maybe wish you'd done differently after I think your 3 of your business, you said, what would that be if you could pick just one?
Oh, one thing that I would do differently.
Or that you learnt the hard way through trial and error?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard question to answer, because I think I'm not from, well, learning how to make the products has obviously been learning the hard way. So I didn't go on a big course to do it. I'm self-taught on everything. So I would say that I have learned the hard way, because I did make lots of mistakes in the beginning. Yeah, the big thing that sort of sticks out is I don't have a sort of I've got an admin background, but I don't have an accountancy background, and having to learn how to do the books has been a complete and utter pain in the backside, to be honest. But I've taught myself how to do it. I did go on a little bit business gateway course, which did help. Yeah, that's something that I guess I have learned the hard way, because I didn't stick in at school with that side of things. Numbers aren't really my thing, but I've had to do it because I want my business to run properly and balance properly, and I can't afford to pay someone else to do it. So yeah, I've had to do that. I don't know if that's actually learning the hard way or just having to learn. But
maybe your lesson, because it sounds like you've done this in loads of different areas in your business, so maybe yours is just trial and error in general. So you have learned to do everything yourself, and that is difficult, because obviously there's going to be things that come easily to us and things that don't, and things that take a long time to learn, like the actual making of your products. But realistically, I don't think there's really such thing as mistakes. I think if you learn something, you learn, that's important. You've learned something yourself, and you're going to keep that knowledge and keep applying that knowledge. So I wouldn't call it a mistake, but yeah, maybe that can be your lesson. It's just that you learn things through trial and error and not giving up, and just keep trying until you find the best way to do it.
Yeah, and even if you do something, self-taught, whatever it may be, part of your business, even if you do it and you find out you've done it wrong or not the best way, you're still learning from that, because you wouldn't have known how to do it better had you not done it rubbish the first time. So yeah, it's all part of the learning process. It all makes your business better, makes you understand it better, and makes you more aware of things, I think. So it maybe takes a bit more time, but yeah, yeah, trial and error.
I like it. Being self-taught and learning how to do it yourself. And there's always room to improve. That's the thing. So, when I made, I guess, my first content strategy, if you even want to call it that, because really it was just a brainstorm jumble of ideas in one of my many notebooks. And you learn as you go, and you try different things, and some things work really well and some things don't. But yeah, I think there's something to be said for learning things yourself, and for really getting to know every area of your business, even if, in time you start to kind of hand over some control. I think there's something to be said for doing it all yourself for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully not forever, but yeah.
Well, on that note, Niki, can you tell us where we can find you online and check out some of your stuff?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, so my website is houseofrothach.com, which is, I spell it, it's house of ROTHACH.com. And I'm due to update the website, but at the minute you've got all my current products. The only items that I've not put on yet are my festive range of items, which will be going on hopefully within the next few weeks. So yeah.
That's great. It. And I'll put the links to Niki's website. And are you on social media as well?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and it's all House of Rothach.
That is perfect. So I will pop all of those links into the show notes for today. And I know your business is being promoted this Friday, which is the 23rd of October, as well as part of the Small Business Saturdays. So you'll be able to learn more about Niki's business on there as well, and see some of her stuff, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm going to actually be running mostly on Instagram some offers, a giveaway with another company. I'm not going to say too much at the minute. A wee giveaway and an offer on subscribers to my monthly mailbox, There'll be an offer for someone to win 3 months free January, February, March. There'll be the link to your podcast as well, hopefully, and another few bits and bobs, just general information about things that you may or may not have known about the business and me. So yeah, I'll be busy on the social media channels on Friday.
That is great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Niki, and I will be excited to see what your business gets up to next.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.